Tensions are reaching new heights on the Korean Peninsula. South Korea has resumed its loudspeaker broadcast on the inner Korean border for the first time since 2016 in response to the North's trash-carrying balloon campaign. Right, so for more on this, we have our defense correspondent Choi Min-jung in the studio. Welcome, Min-jung.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So, Min-jung, my first question for you is, the North's trash balloon deliveries to the South has prompted the South Korean military to reactivate its loudspeaker campaign. So how did this all unfold?
To give you a brief background, the loudspeaker campaigns were officially suspended in 2018 as part of an inter-Korean military agreement to defuse tensions along the border. So the North's continued balloon provocations prompted the South to reactivate its loudspeaker campaigns for the first time in 6 years. The last broadcast, however, was in 2016 following the North's fourth nuclear test. It aired K-pop, news, and criticism of the regime's human rights abuses, drawing anger from the North. The South Korean military reportedly blasted similar messages for around 2 hours on Sunday afternoon and played songs such as Dynamite and Butter by BTS. An expert says that Kim Jong-un would not be happy knowing that the elite families in the capital might hear the broadcasts.
And it's important to remember that many of the soldiers in the forward area are from the elite Songbun. They're people who are from the elites out of Pyongyang, children of elites. So reaching them is something which the North is really not going to like, as they demonstrated in 2015.
Right, so South Korea is clearly sending a strong message to the North. So how is the regime responding to all this?
Well, North Korea is not about to back down. More trash-carrying balloons were sent shortly after the resumption of broadcast from the South, and the sister of North Korea's leader Kim Yo-jong threatened there would be, quote, new responses if South Korea continued to engage in provocations. The Joint Chiefs of Staff on Monday also detected signs of North Korea installing loudspeakers near the inter-Korean border. Now, this could be seen as a tit-for-tat move by the North, but the South Korea's military said there had been no broadcast by Thursday. An expert says the current tensions could begin to de-escalate since at the end of the day, both South and North Korea want to avoid further tensions.
So I think Kim Yo-jong is trying to send a message to South Korea that this is what we are doing. We don't want to escalate anymore unless you continue, right? So what South Korea can do in response is, I think South Korea also wants to respond to what North Korea has done, but then at the same time, South Korea also doesn't want to escalate any further.
Right, and the growing animosity here on the Korean Peninsula led to like a rare public display of deterrence by the South Korean Navy. So please tell us more about that.
South Korea's Navy conducted training on Tuesday with its 3,000-ton submarine Anmu in waters off the port city of Busan. During the training, the Navy launched a torpedo attack against a hypothetical North Korean submarine, which was intruding on the de facto maritime border. The Anmu is a core asset of the South's kill chain preemptive strike system, a pillar of the three-axis defense system designed to deter North Korean attacks. It's armed with torpedoes, mines, and guided missiles, and equipped with vertical launching tubes for SLBMs to strike ground targets.
Right, and on top of all that, we saw North Korean soldiers recently stepping into South Korean territory. So what was this about?
Right, a small group of North Korean troops briefly crossed the inter-Korean border last Sunday while working within the demilitarized zone. According to South Korea's military, the troops briefly crossed some 50 meters over the military demarcation line at around noon after it appeared they'd become lost. They then immediately returned north after the South Korean military aired warning broadcast and fired warning shots. The military said no suspicious activity was spotted. But these North Korean soldiers were seen carrying pickaxes, so some pundits are assuming the troops were there to install mines.
Right, so we will need to find out whether that was really the case. All right, Min-jung, thank you so much for your wrap-up today. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.